If you're thinking about grabbing the Asus ROG G700, wait a second, because what I'm about to share might change your mind. This beast of a gaming desktop promises powerhouse specs and fearless design, but here's what surprised me. It's not all smooth sailing. Most gamers think buying it means instant domination, but there's a catch you probably didn't see coming. Let me pull back the curtain on what makes the ROG G700 a mixed bag, perfect for some, problematic for others, and why you might want to hold off before clicking buy. Stick around because I'll reveal some serious insights you won't find in the product description. Okay, let me set the scene. You want a desktop that screams powerhouse, that can handle AAA games, streaming, and even heavy multitasking without breaking a sweat. You see the Asus ROG G700, loaded with an Intel Core Ultra 7 265F processor, NVIDIA RTX 5070 GPU, 32 GB DDR5 RAM, and a 1 TB PCIe 4.0 SSD, all wrapped inside a futuristic dual-glass chassis with RGB lighting. Sounds like heaven, right? But does the reality live up to the hype? So far, this system's sitting around 3.5 stars on Amazon, which means some users are loving it, but a big chunk aren't. So, who's really getting the value and who's stuck with a pricey paperweight? Keep watching, we're just getting started. You're probably wondering, why would a high-end PC like this earn average reviews? Well, the immediate value I want to give you is this. It's powerful, no doubt, but it's far from flawless. Before I dive into what really goes wrong, here's a quick question for you. Have you ever bought something so expensive that you start questioning if it's really worth it? The G700 walks that tightrope, and by the end, you'll know exactly where it stands. Let's jump deep into what Asus packs inside this beast. At its core, the G700 boasts the Intel Core Ultra 7 265F processor, a fairly new generation CPU designed for high-performance gaming and multitasking. Pair that with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, a powerful triple-slot GPU capable of crushing most modern games at high settings. Add to that 32 GB DDR5 RAM and a speedy 1 TB PCIe 4.0 SSD, and you get a system that screams power and speed. On paper, this sounds like pure gaming gold, but here's the twist. Power alone isn't the full story. In fact, while you get that unstoppable power, heat management becomes a concern fast. Asus claims a quad-fan airflow system with dust filters for long-term reliability. Sounds impressive, but users report the fans can get noisy under load, sometimes like a jet engine revving up at full throttle. So unless you're a fan of background noise resembling an actual rocket launch, that might dampen your gaming zen quite a bit. And here's where you ask, why not water cooling? The G700 sticks to air cooling, which means there's a ceiling to how silent or cool it can stay when you push those GPUs hard. But wait, it gets more complicated. The case design. The dual glass panel chassis with the signature ROG/ and AuraSync RGB lighting is definitely an attention grabber. Great for showing off your setup on Twitch or to friends. Yet glass panels mean fingerprints, smudges, and fragile surfaces if you're not super careful. The thrill of those RGB streaks might quickly turn into a cleaning chore. Plus, the 58L chassis supports triple-slot GPUs, great for future upgrades, but it also means the case is quite bulky. Got a small desk setup? Expect some rearranging or an extra coffee table to fit this monster. Connectivity-wise, the G700 does shine. 2.5 Gbps Ethernet and Wi-Fi 6 promise smooth online gaming without lag, and the array of ports cover everything from USB-C to HDMI. Dolby Atmos sound and AI noise cancellation give you immersive audio and clear communication, perfect for multiplayer trash talk or serious content creation. But despite all these bells and whistles, some users say the sound system lacks punch unless you pair it with a high-end headset or external speakers. So while Dolby Atmos is there, Don't expect miracles from built-in speakers. By now you might be thinking, is this the right PC for you? The Asus ROG G700 targets gamers and creators who want future-proof hardware, a bold design, and the ability to tweak or upgrade their rig over time. But if you're ultra-sensitive to noise, or if your budget demands flawless perfection from every dollar, this may not be the best fit. There's also the price tag to consider. At nearly $2,000, it's an investment. And because it features a tool-less design for easy upgrades, it's best for users who are comfortable opening up their PC or who want to tinker down the line. Now, onto some storytelling to put this in perspective. I remember a friend who grabbed the G700 after his old rig gave up during an all-night gaming marathon. He was hyped by the specs and the flashy RGB lights, said it looked like a spaceship cockpit. First week was amazing. Games ran buttery smooth and the system never faltered. But by week 2, the fans sounded like they were preparing for liftoff every time he loaded a new game, driving his roommate crazy. On top of that, the glass panels started showing every fingerprint and dust mote, turning his futuristic rig into a fingerprint museum. After a month, he questioned if the performance gains were worth the noise complaints and cleaning spree. Before you jump to conclusions, here's a joke to lighten the mood. Why don't gamers ever get locked out of their houses? Because they always have plenty of cash. Okay, back on track. Despite the noise and maintenance quirks, the G700's tool-less design won him over eventually. Upgrading his RAM and storage was so simple he could do it blindfolded. No annoying screws, just quick swapping for better performance in new games. He also appreciated the triple-slot GPU space when he decided to upgrade from the RTX 5070 to something beefier down the line. So if you're the type who loves tweaking and evolving your PC rather than buying a new one every season, that feature is a big win. Now, I promised you a juncture where things get interesting. Here it is. The 3.5-star rating on Amazon tells a story of mixed experiences. Some users rave about speed and design, others struggle with build quality, random system restarts, or software conflicts. Asus's solution: frequent firmware updates which help but don't eliminate all issues. Meaning, you need to be prepared to invest not only in the PC, but in some troubleshooting time too. If you're not tech-savvy, that can quickly turn from a hobby into a headache. Here's another joke for the road. Why did the gamer bring a ladder to the match? Because the stakes were high. The Asus ROG G700 is high stakes, folks, and sometimes you need a ladder to climb out of trouble. So what about upgrades? Asus designed G700 for easy access, no screwdrivers needed. The spacious interior allows you to swap in bigger GPUs, add RAM, or extra drives with ease. That's a serious plus for gamers who want a long-lasting rig. Just remember that with power like this, you want to keep airflow optimized. Overheating is the arch nemesis of performance, and while Asus's quad fan system helps, it requires regular cleaning to maintain peak cooling. This becomes less a plug-and-play experience and more a pet you need to care for. Back to the sound for a moment. Dolby Atmos and AI noise cancellation are marketing gems, but their real-world impact varies. If you mostly game with headphones, you'll love the enhanced spatial audio, but rely on onboard speakers and the effect might be underwhelming. And the AI noise cancellation, while decent, sometimes filters out whisper-soft in-game cues, which might cost you a match if you're an esports competitor. Something to consider when investing nearly $2,000. Okay, here's a mini promise. If you're a creator dabbling in 3D rendering, video editing, or game streaming, the G700's hardware can seriously cut your workflow time. The fast processor and large RAM help with multitasking, and the RTX 5070 accelerator can handle most creative apps smoothly. But if your focus is purely casual gaming or light work, this powerhouse may be overkill, and those extra watts just burn your electricity bill. Speaking of bills, Why did the gamer break up with his PC? Because it couldn't handle his demands and left him in bits. The energy consumption on the G700 is nothing to scoff at. That powerful power supply and cooling fans demand juice. If you're eco-conscious or worried about electricity costs, keep that in mind. So what's the final verdict? The Asus ROG G700 is a potent, boldly designed gaming desktop packed with future-proof features, ideal for gamers and creators who want a head start on next-gen performance. It offers impressive specs, easy upgrades, and a stunning aesthetic that turns heads. But it's not perfect. Noise, bulky design, maintenance needs, and patchy software experiences mean it's probably best suited for power users who don't mind a bit of tinkering and investment beyond just buying the box. If you crave raw power with style and plan to upgrade your rig over time, the G700 delivers. However, if you want a silent, plug-and-play machine with no fuss and you're on a tighter budget, you might want to explore options elsewhere. The good news: buying the G700 isn't a one-way ticket, it's a platform. A solid foundation for gaming that grows with you, but remember, every eagle sometimes gets a feather ruffled. And hey, here's a closing joke to send you off with a smile. Why don't computers take their hats off? Because they have bad caps lock. Now, if you want to check pricing and read all the latest reviews for yourself, I've linked the Asus ROG G700 on Amazon in the description below. Don't forget to hit that link for the best deals. Thanks for watching, and remember, power is nothing without control, so choose your gear wisely.